He is developer of IET image processing, Springer image IGECS and Scopus gender. We give a round of applause for his evaluations. So I would like to speak a few words about our resource persons. Please, sir, Dr. Gangani Dhananjay. Give the big round of applause for Dean Gangani Dhananjay.
Faculty members వస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి the permission of principals I can just say 2 words. So good afternoon faculty members and friends. Ikkada actually it's a very important concept how to write a research paper and research methodology అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద మనం అసెంబ్లీ అయ్యాము. సో ఈ రీసెర్చ్ అనేది వాట్ వి కాల్ సైంటిఫిక్ మెథడ్. మనం ఒక సైన్స్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్, ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్, ఒక హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్లో ఈ రీసెర్చ్ ఆ సైంటిఫిక్ మెథడ్ ఇస్ హైలీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. మనం ఏమైనా క్లాస్లో కూడా చెప్తున్న కొంతమంది ఆల్రెడీ మీరు నేను చెప్పుకుంటాను. మనకి 2 types ఆఫ్ ఎవిడెన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటి అనెక్డోటల్ ఎవిడెన్స్, ఇంకొకటి ఎంపెరికల్ ఎవిడెన్స్. సో ఈ సైంటిఫిక్ మెథడ్ అనేది ఎంపెరికల్ ఎవిడెన్స్ కింద వస్తుంది. మనకి మన పెద్దవాళ్ళు చెప్తుంటారు, అయ్యా పిల్లి చూస్తే నువ్వు బయటికి వెళ్ళొద్దాడు. ఎందుకు? వాళ్ళకి ఏదో ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంటుంది. పిల్లి చూస్తే మనకి ఏదో యాక్సిడెంట్ అయింది లేదా సమ్ బ్యాడ్ ఈవెంట్ హ్యాపెన్. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ అనెక్డోటల్ ఎవిడెన్స్. అంటే ఒక ఇన్సిడెన్స్ వల్ల ఏం జరిగిందని చెప్పి అనెక్డోట్, అది అనెక్డోటల్ ఎవిడెన్స్ అంట. కానీ సైంటిఫిక్ మెథడ్లో ఏం చెప్తుందంటే ఎంపెరికల్ ఎవిడెన్స్. నువ్వు రికార్డ్ చేసుకో, 30 సార్లు పిల్లి వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏం జరిగింది రికార్డ్ చేసుకో. రికార్డ్ చేసుకొని అది సిగ్నిఫికెంట్గా కాదా ఎగ్జామిన్ చేయి. వాట్ ఇస్ ద యావరేజ్ దట్ హ్యాపెండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ పిల్లి వచ్చిన తర్వాత? దాన్ని ఎంపెరికల్ ఎవిడెన్స్ అంట. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద బేసిస్ ఆఫ్ సైంటిఫిక్ మెథడ్. సైంటిఫిక్ మెథడ్ ఏం చెప్తుందంటే మనకి based on single event you don't generalize. We need some statistical significant evidence for that. So we normally say that if n is greater than 30, we have a basis to conclude. So always the higher education law, research law, scientific method using empirical evidence తీసుకోవాలి. So thank you. We will have a very good session from our resource persons. Thank you for giving me this.
Like to speak a few words. Our principal sir, Dr. G. Srinivasan Reddy sir. Please welcome sir. Please give him a big round of applause.
Honorable dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Sunil Kumar garu, Dr. Satnam garu from Untitled Chapter, Dr. Dhananjay garu, Dean MBA, Dr. Vani garu, HOD MBA, Professor Bashar from Department of CSC, and other HODs, faculty, and my students. Good afternoon, all of you. So today, we are all gathered here to attend the program national level workshop on research methodology. So whatever be the field, that may be management or engineering or science or any other allied fields. So each and every graduate or postgraduate or PhD candidates require the information regarding research methodology. Research methodology in the sense how you are going to research on any interested topic. So first you have to collect the information about interested topic, then you have to collect the data from that one, then how you are going to process that one, how you are going to analyze that one, and finally what will be the output and what will be your conclusion. So this is the process that we are having. But there are a sequence of steps for doing this work. So Satyanarayana garu and Sunil Kumar garu will explain in detail about how we are going to write research paper. So I hope today's program will be more useful for you. Thank you.
We will honor the resource persons. Then we will, the role is there for doing this seminar. So I request our principal sir to honor the resource persons.
ఒకటేగా చేయకూడదు, కొన్నిట్లో కొన్ని లిమిట్స్ ఉంటాయి.
ఏంది ఆ ఫోన్లు వస్తా ఉన్నాయి, నిన్న మన రాలే ఇంకే పెట్టారు. వెనక్కి కూర్చుందా హోటల్ ఇస్తాను పిలిచింది, టేబుల్ కోసం ఎవరు వచ్చారు?
I think it's not quite. Am I audible to the last? Am I audible to the last? Alright. Yeah. Good afternoon all. In this as a part of one-day program of research methodology. I am going to discuss about how to write a quality research paper. Myself, I am Dr. Satyanarayana, Associate Professor in the Department of Coming to this one, this is the agenda of today's. Coming to the first topic, we need to clearly understand before starting up of a research paper, what are the different types of articles that are existing in the literature. So there are different types of articles. If we see any standard journal, they will be taking different types of articles. In that, the first one is the original research. That is, they will be asking you to submit original research article. In that, whatever the investigations or experiments you have done need to be reported, and after that you need to analyze that one, compare with that of the existing benchmarks, then you need to report it. Such an article is called as original research article. Clear? So, coming to the next one, short reports or letters. These comes under experiments, short span of experiments, a brief report of the original data that editors believe to be interesting to many of the researchers, such that, for example, those in the highly competitive or changing discipline. Let us say, for example, in the current trend of having this pandemic, so they will be experimenting some of the genome code of the corona, and they will be reporting that. Those are called as short reports or letters. So, first one is original research article, second one is reports or letters. These are the two types of articles we have. And then coming to the next one is the review article. See here, review articles are generally will not be accepted by majority of the indexed journals like that of Scopus or SCIE. Nowadays, SCIE is not existing. SCIE is merged with SCIE. If you see the indexing, in March 2020, SCIE has been merged with SCIE. Some of the people who have done some research in that area, they might be observing what are the types of indexing sources they have. So, existing research indexing sources. So, in that SCIE is merged with SCIE, Science Citation Index. SCIE means Science Citation Index, expanded. So, SCIE is merged with SCIE. So, here review articles tells about what are the existing works that are done in that particular field. Majority of the SCIE journals or standard journals will be accepting these papers upon invitation only. They will not be accepting such review articles because those will be only relating to the existing work. No novelty will be there. So you are comparing the existing works. So only when you have some this one. So here, if you would like to write a review but have not been invited by any journal, make sure that the journal accepts that review article. If they are not listed in the article that is being accepted as a review article, don't submit it. Sure shot, it will get rejected. Sure shot, it will get rejected. Telling that it is a simple review article, we will not be accepting those review articles in our journal. Okay. So we have seen three. One is research article, original research article. Second one is short reports or letters. Third one is review article. Next one, fourth type of article is case study. Okay, simple experimentation. Again, it is similar to that of a short report or letter, where you will be taking some case study. In a few minutes back, Sir has told one anecdotal example. So that is one such type of case study example. So where you are taking one example and you are reporting such one. Okay. So such statistical measures need to be reported. Next one, methodologies and methods. If I invent some other statistical measure or some other methodology to evaluate upon the existing approach, okay, then I can also report that these articles are reported as new methods or new test cases or new methodologies. Next one. So based on this, we have seen different 5 types of articles. One is research, original research article, short reports or letters, review articles, next one methodologies, case studies. These things need to be tested. Okay. So these are the 5 different types of articles that are existing in any of the journal. So depending on the type of paper you write, now identify what is the type of paper you are going to write. Whether it is a review article, whether it is a case study, whether it is a short report or original research article or its case study, methodology, depending on it, classify your own manuscript. Then identify the journal. Classify your own manuscript. If you don't know what is the type of manuscript, we need to take somebody's help to classify that one. Because that is the first step when you are going to submit it to the journal. For any standard journal, they will be asking you what is the type of manuscript that you are going to submit. Whether it is an original research article, whether it is a review article, whether it is a case study, whether it is a methodology, what is the type of article. So that is the first step. So we need to classify whatever the manuscript we have written. Right? That is the first step. So based on these things, we need to identify. Next one. Coming to the writing of the manuscript, we need to know what is the structure of the manuscript. How to start, where to start, what are the components inside that manuscript. So first one is the title. How to keep a title? That is the first question. How long the title should be? Okay. Next one, what are the phrases that need to be included in the title? So title should be concise. It must report what you have done in the paper. What you have done in the experiment. It must be a concise one. It must not be 2 lines or 3 lines. I will show you one title over here. See, this is the one. This is a wrong title. 2 months back, I have reviewed this paper for a Scopus Q1 journal. I am a reviewer for that one. See, this is the title they have given at the start. And we have rejected that paper. See the title? Captive cement, grade, limestone, mines. And we cannot understand what they have written clearly. After 4 months of review and changes, we have given for review for that author. Again we have changed it. Again we have asked for it. Again, after nearly 4 to 5 times of the review, he has changed the title and he has given this title. See the title? There is a lot of difference between those two. Now it is modified. I am the reviewer for this and I have changed it. He is one of my scholars. And satellite image is spatio-temporal variation assessment in captive limestone mines for long-term mining. So it gives some meaning. Rather than seeing the top one, this gives some meaning. What he has done, that is showing in the title. So we need to clearly understand what we need to tell in the title. How long the title should be. It must be concise, informative, and it must tell what is your research. Or else, it will not give any meaning. Initial step itself, reviewer will reject it. Next one. What are the phrases? The phrases should be the experimental evidences. Like that, see here, in this title, they have told satellite image based. So they have taken satellite image data. They have done experiment with spatio-temporal variation assessment they have done on that image for that long-term variability. On which data they have taken? Limestone data. Limestone images. These are the phrases that need to be included in the title. So whether a subtitle, now the question again starts with whether I can add any subtitle or not. Yes, you can add any. Some of the journals will be providing that easily. Some journals will not do, but some journals will be providing the subtitle. Next one. Can I add a column? No. Some journals will be following. Based on the type of journal, you see with that journal and follow that. Example, see a retracted music therapy, a core service integrative palliative therapy. Like the medical journals will be giving such visibility. Generally, engineering journals will not be providing that. So these are things. So the first one is the title should communicate the general subject. The title that point to a specific subtopic of a general subject. Specific subtopic means in the previous slide I have shown you image processing. In that he has taken satellite image subtopic. Then what he is finding? Assessment, spatio-temporal variation assessment. That is his finding. Next one, state of methodology that is used. What is the type of methodology he is using? Okay, spatio-temporal variation on which he is using limestone image. So that's what it has to show. Right? This is the one. So this is the best example for how to decide a title. Okay, clear? Right. So as we have decided the title, next comes the abstract. Next comes the abstract. Before that, one important parameter is there regarding the authors. Majority of the standard journals will not accept any suffixes like the doctor Satyanarayana. No, they will not accept doctor. You need to write only name itself. Remember that. Okay. Right. Coming to the next one, abstract. How an abstract should be? Abstract should tell you a short summary of your published or unpublished, usually 6 to 7 sentences or 150 to 250 words. Majority of the standard journals will accept only 200 words. If it is more than 200, printer will reject. So short at the end of the publication or before going for publication, printer will reject, stating that the abstract of the paper contains 203 words, reduce those 3 words. That's it. Okay, it must be like this. So abstract lets the readers use the gist and essence of your paper. Like the of teaser, movie teaser, it has to be. What is the gist of your paper? You must get some information regarding the paper, what you have implemented in that paper, what your paper tells, what are the results. So abstract prepares the readers to follow the detailed information, analysis and arguments in your full paper. And this abstract helps the readers remember the key points from their paper. So abstract tells what are the key points. I will show you the abstract. I will show you a wrong abstract as well as a right abstract. So this is the one. See here, I have colored those things. So first statement, see here, the first sentence introduces the context for this research and announces the topic understood. This is an abstract that I have written for iris biometric system. Whatever you have given for Aadhaar. Okay. For scanning of Aadhaar. For research article. So in that the first line itself, first 1 or 2 sentences must be generalized in nature. Remember that those 2 sentences must be in general. They must introduce what is the context of this research. What is the topic of this study? You should not go directly that I am doing this one, I am inventing this one. No. You should tell what is your topic. So the first 2 sentences must tell what are the topics of your study. Next sentence tells what are the previous experiments that are taken or which were undertook in the past in the current area of context. So here the next sentence explains what previous research has been demonstrated. So this also provides rationale for theories. Why we are doing for this one? There are existing iris biometric systems, but why we are going to do that? We need to explain that one in the next 2 sentences. So the first 2 sentences must tell what is the topic. Next 2 sentences must tell existing research. Next sentences, proposed framework. Okay, what I have used in this one. Let us say I am doing research on iris biometric. Existing work is this one, and I am going to implement this one. Why I am implementing this one? I will be telling in the previous sentence. Okay. Next one specifies how the framework will result in, how that framework will be terminated, how you are going to implement it. Next, slowly you are going in depth of the research article. Remember. Next one, what are the major findings in that research? What are the major findings? What you have evaluated from that research? So here, due to the color, it is not showing what the results show that 93.2% overall accuracy for the system if we consider 7 features and improvement to 99.6%. So the accuracy has improved. What my finding is the accuracy has improved. This is what you need to clearly tell. Next, in the last, compare with that of the existing approach. Without comparing, I will be telling I am the tallest. How I can tell that? By comparing somebody. So compare with that of the existing benchmarks, not with that of the local or non-standard terms. So this is the structure of the abstract. This is how you need to write that. So the first two sentences must be in general. It must discuss what is the topic under study. Next two sentences must tell what is the existing approach, what are the lacunas in that existing research or the problems, how you are going to exploit it. Next, what is the proposed framework for that exploitation. Based on the proposed framework, what are your findings? Next, based on the findings, how you are going to compare with the existing framework. So these are the things that you need to cover in the abstract. Clear? Next one. See here, this is another long abstract. For the first title, what I have shown you. He has discussed something about cement industry, which is not at all good. Again, we have modified it. We have asked him to change it. For 4 months, he has got 9. And after that, see, there is cement is a critical commodity for the society because it allows for the quick, safe, efficient delivery. He has written something which is irrelevant to the current research. In general, he has written. Then we have changed the abstract. So based on that one, we have changed the abstract, and after that, it has got accepted. Okay, there is some problem like this. Now, change the abstract. Right. So here we need to write the abstract in that style. Now another thing is, some of the journals will be asking you to write a graphical abstract. Okay, not in terms of the text, but also in terms of the graphics. So they will be asking you to write the graphical abstract. This is one form of graphical abstract. What we have done in this paper. So we have implemented that input with some data set, pre-process it, apply some classifiers, then go for feature selection, then compare the results. This is what we have done in the paper. A picture is worth of 100 words, right? So you are going to replace this. That one. Right? Next. Okay, right. Now, next one. First one is title. Next one is abstract. The next concept is selection of keywords. How you are going to select the keywords? Based on, make sure that any instructions are there that are written for that journal. Majority of the journals will not accept your own keywords. They will give you one sort of set of keywords that are introduced there itself. So they have a database that is listed with some keywords. They use only their own keywords. And some of the journals will be accepting your own keywords, a part of the database keywords. So you need to remember that one. So whether the journal is accepting the keywords that are predefined as well as the keywords that you write. Next one is, think about what are the terms of your research paper. So like that of iris biometric. Take the iris biometric paper where we can write one keyword as iris, second one as biometric, third one as the concept or the proposed method that you have introduced in that paper. Okay. Next one. Likewise, 5 keywords are required. Remember that a minimum of 5 keywords is required for any journal paper. Okay. So choose the keywords appropriately. Next slide, sir. Next. Now, so next one, the structure of the transcript. So here we will be following. This is the structure. IMRAD. So introduction, methods, results, discussion, and conclusion. So now, first one is the introduction. Never ever write literature review as a separate section. Never ever write literature review as a separate section. Majority of the standard journals will not accept literature review as a separate section. In the introduction itself, we need to tell them what are the existing approaches that are used for the current research. We should not write it as a separate topic. In the introduction only we need to write. So the first one, next slide. So next slide. So that is the literature. Next one is So next one is statement of the problem. Based on the existing or the literature survey, what we have done for that paper or for that particular topic. I have shown you 2 abstracts over here. First abstract tells you about the iris biometric. So we can tell that what are the approaches or the existing approaches that are used for iris biometric. Right? So those will be covered in the introduction section. Okay. In the next one, we will be telling where the problem is in the existing approaches. So I will be identifying what is the gap in the existing approaches so that we will not be achieving the required accuracy for that particular iris biometric. Or else, in the second abstract, what I have shown is the captive limestone assessment. We will be doing something there. So they have not done any spatio-temporal variation assessment for the land use there. So So we have exploited that one. So that need to be written in that problem statement. So we need to write that one. Where is the problem in the existing approaches? That need to be exploited. Remember that. Next one, in the introduction itself, we need to cover how you are going to plan that one to solve that problem based on the approach. Okay. At last, you need to write in the introduction itself what are the article highlights. What your article is covering. Okay. What are your article highlights? My article implements this particular approach. My article has achieved this one. My approach has achieved this accuracy, this much accuracy when compared to existing one. So article highlights need to be included in the introduction itself. Majority of the journals will be asking that one to introduce article highlights. Right? Next one, sir. Next one is methods and results. So we have covered introduction. In that introduction, we have covered existing approaches as literature survey, and from the existing approaches in the literature survey, we have exploited the problem in the existing literature, and from that approach, we have also discussed what is the plan, how to solve that problem. Okay. Now we will be discussing how we are going to solve that problem. That is the method. What is the method that we are going to implement? How we are going to implement? What are the different types of tools we are going to use? How this research was done? What are the types of data sets you have taken? What is the type of data? Any research requires some data. Okay. What is the type of data you are going to take? If you are taking that data, what are the pre-processing steps that you are going to do? Okay. These things need to be discussed in the methodology section only. Next one. Sir, previous slide, sir. Right. What is the type? Next, if we have implemented such approach, what is the result? What are the answers that we have found? What is, if that approach is being implemented, what is the result that I have got? Whether the accuracy has been improved, whether something has been obtained. Okay. That research may not give a fruitful result also. Okay. The computational complexity may increase, it may take more time for comparison. So what are the answers that we have found? We need to tell that one in brief. In brief. Next. Next one is the discussion. So based on the introduction, we have found some problem, and based on the problem, we have implemented some methodology, and in the methodology we have discussed one approach, how to solve it. So after solving that one, what are the results that we have got? We need to discuss those results. Let us say I am tallest. So when compared to this person, I am 2% taller. When compared to that person, I am 1% taller. So how you are going to compare with that of the bench? So interpretation of results. Next. What does it mean? What does it mean? If your research has been implemented, how you are justifying it? What does it mean? You need to tell, my research has been implemented, by implementing this one, I have achieved this one. By achieving this one, I have reduced the computational complexity by this much. So this can be implemented or used for that particular application. We need to tell that. So what does that research means? We need to tell all these things. Next one is implications for the field, where you are going to use it. I have invented some other mic, sir, which will work like that of the same mic. So it is not useful. Already existing mic is there. So where we are going to use it? I can introduce in the button, sir, so that it will capture the information and it will amplify. So we can use it without having any pressure on the hand. Right? So the implication of the field, where we are going to use it. Next. So analysis and discussion, I will show you how to use it. Next. Next. So now, the section here shows that the development of new methodology based on the existing one. So the question is how to introduce new research paper, how to write a new research work from the existing one. See here, the literature survey, from the existing literature survey, what we have written in the introduction part itself, we can tell that, based on that, we can write how we can improve the existing approach by combination of 2 to 3 experiments. By combination of 2 to 3 approaches. If I combine 2 approaches, we can get a new approach that we can implement based on survey only. So survey is very, very important. How you are going to survey that particular problem is crucial here. So based on survey itself, you can change some parameter such that you can redesign your own approach, new approach, by combining 2 to 3 frameworks, and you can write a new research article. That is the first method and easiest way of identifying the new one from that one. Now, from the literature. Literature is a broad domain. Remember that. Let us say I am working on communications. There are many types of communications. Analog communications, visual communications, likewise narrow down. Okay. So it is a broad area. Image processing. Many types of images. Satellite images, biometric images, biomedical images, many types of images are there. So broad area is the one. Now narrow down, scale down, narrow down, identify the specific area where you concentrate upon. So the first abstract what I have shown is working on biometric images, not on any other images. Only I am taking biometric images only. So I have narrowed down image processing area down to biometrics. So I have narrowed down to only biometric images. From that one, define the problem where the existing benchmarks lag. Where the existing benchmarks lag. Some of the existing benchmarks will be achieving only 94% accuracy. So what my target is 100%. Anyhow, I may not achieve 100%, but I can achieve 99% at least if I can change some framework. So where the existing benchmark lags, where the existing benchmarks have not concentrated upon, where the existing benchmarks have not concentrated upon. So based on the literature survey, I have narrowed down to one particular domain area, and in that particular domain area, I will be identifying where the existing benchmark have not concentrated at all. So that itself becomes the problem for me, my research. Okay. If a problem is generated, indeed, you will get a solution after 1 or 2 years, no doubt. Okay. Next one is combination of framework. Combine 2 to 3 frameworks, combine 2 to 3 techniques so that you can improve some other parameter. Okay. This is how you are going to develop a new methodology based on existing framework. Majority of the researchers struggle here itself. How to develop a new research. Already major people have done, let us say IoT. The best example is IoT. IoT, major people have done. What is that you are going to invent? Certainly, in the interview they will be asking, in the PhD interview or while going for research, they will ask you, what is that you are going to implement there? IoT is existing. We can tell that I will be introducing a new protocol such that the accuracy can be improved with less time computational complexity. Less time and computational complexity, which will be speed enough. We have 4G. Then what is the use of 5G? There is no necessity. Am I right? So still we are going for that one. So based on the problems that are existing in the course, right? So this is where everyone will be facing the problem, right? Next. Now result analysis and presentation. See here. So first one is see here. So this is the one. So where you are going to evaluate parametric evaluation of the proposed framework. So how you are going to evaluate the existing approach as well as the proposed framework based on some statistical measure. So you need to justify that the existing approach is far less when compared to the proposed method. So my method is superior when compared to the existing approaches. We need to tell that one. So that's why we have identified a new metric, introduced a new metric such that it tells that the existing approach is lagging behind in this metric and my proposed approach is far better when compared to the existing approach. Tell that one. Clearly you need to justify that one. Next one. Don't draw graphs that are irregular in nature. Some of the results what we observe as a reviewer, they will be drawing different graphs which majority people cannot understand. So whatever the results that you are drawing there from the graphs, you need to justify that one. It must be in a readable form. Okay, don't draw graphs. There are many types of graphs that are existing in Excel. They will be drawing such graphs. They will look very nice, but they cannot interpret anything from that one. So don't draw graphs that you cannot interpret and reviewer cannot interpret. Draw graphs in such a way that we can interpret some information from the graph. Clear? Next one. So coming to the table over here, if you see here, we have compared the approach. This is my own paper, recent paper that we have implemented here. If you can see here, we have got the proposed approach. With the proposed approach, we have got 98.97% accuracy, and the existing approaches are limited to only 89%. This is what is one of the Springer paper that we have sent. It is under review right now, and this is how you need to compare with the existing approaches, and you need to present it in terms of a table. Remember that. So this is how you are going to present. So result analysis and presentation is very crucial, and it tells how far your proposed approach is better when compared to the existing approach. Okay, till now we have seen title, abstract, keywords, introduction, methods, and results. Results analysis and presentation. Okay. Coming to the next one. So, drawing conclusions from the analysis of results. So, if you clearly observe these images, okay, we need to draw some conclusions from the images that we have generated, or from the table that we have written. So, if you clearly see here, there is a patch, white patch, which is marked there. It is actually not there in the image. They have done some image processing, some Photoshop art, and they have pasted it. We have identified that they have done some forgery in that image by using image processing knowledge. We have identified that. So this is what is the conclusion that I am drawing there. So based on the proposed approach and the results that are generated from the proposed approach, now draw the conclusions. Okay, you need to clearly tell what that image is telling, what your result is telling. Exploit the problems in the benchmarks. So if I take the same image with the existing benchmarks, where the image is lagging behind. So with the existing benchmarks, we cannot identify those 2 marks. That I have drawn a conclusion there. We cannot identify that one. So based on that one, I can tell that the proposed approach is far superior. Next one. What are the lapses in the existing benchmarks when applied on a particular application? So when you are applying on a particular application, what are the lapses? Where the existing approaches are lagging behind? You need to tell it clearly, or else your proposed approach is a failure. Next one. How the proposed technique is better when compared to that one? In terms of what? Let us say, for your understanding, 5G comes into picture. Let us say 5G. Why we are going for 5G? For speed. Already existing 4G, then 4G's speed is sufficient. Why you are going for 5G? More speed. More speed. So that is where the proposed technique is better. Right? So proposed technique is better for our understanding. So here also proposed technique is better in terms of this averaging filter. If you see here, the precision recall values in terms of the graph that we have shown is far better when compared to the existing approach. So now in the conclusion section, you need to tell what this paper describes, what this paper tells about. Next one, what is the aim of this work? So in this work, we are identifying forgery that is done in the image. If we are changing some part of the image, this particular technique will identify the forgery. On what it is implemented, on what type of images you are going to implement, what is the type of data we are using that one. Right. Next one, based on statistical measures, what is the type of percentage of completion? Okay, statistical measure. How far the accuracy, precision, recall values. Every time you will be comparing with that of the statistical measures only. Right. Next one. Some of the existing works can be extended by having a key value in the future scope. So, future scope tells you how you can extend the existing research. So, this tells how you are going to extend the future scope of this one. So, how you can extend? You need to tell that one. It must not be an end of the existing works. So your work need to be extended. Remember that. Right? Next one. So next one is acknowledgements. So based on the acknowledgements, so you need to acknowledge some of the people who have got involved in this research. Let us say your college has funded the research. Now what you need to do? You need to involve the college name. We thank the management for giving this opportunity and the computational facilities that are provided to carry out this research. You need to clearly acknowledge. If you have taken somebody's research work also for comparison, you need to acknowledge, or else they will file a case against you. Right? Next one. Supporting materials. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest means if somebody is also doing the same work, then what I need to do? I need to tell them that the conflict of interest is there between his work and my work. So you need to take supporting measures. We need to tell the journal, or else in the later stages, journal will take action. Next one. What are the tools that are used for writing a research paper? So writing a research paper we have seen. So the methodology from the title to the conclusion. Title, abstract, keywords, introduction, methods, results, conclusions. Right? Now coming to how to write a research paper by using tools. What are the tools that we use here? In general, we will be using Grammarly. Majority cases, as a reviewer, we will be saying the English is very bad. So correct the English by using this tool. Grammarly is one such tool. Right? Next one is Turnitin. Turnitin is a paid tool. Grammarly is also a paid tool. Turnitin is also a paid tool, which is used for plagiarism checking. What do you mean by plagiarism? Plagiarism means writing others' research as my own research. Is nothing but plagiarism. Remember that. So you should not write by changing the sentence active voice into passive voice into active voice. No. If I write it, you need to cite it. So Turnitin is a tool which will be identifying such plagiarism. Okay? IEEE tells that 0% tolerance to plagiarism. No plagiarism. Turnitin is one such tool. Next tool is, this one is Mendeley desktop. Mendeley desktop. Majority of the people will start writing the references. Some of the people might have observed that we will be writing references. How you are going to write the references? How you are going to write the references? I will show you one example over here. When it comes probably. So here, for writing a research citation, we need to go to that particular site and you will be selecting, if net comes, probably I will show you how to write that one. So there they will be providing you the citation, how to cite a paper. You need to cite in such a manner only. Then the major problem comes with, if I have 250 papers, how to write 250 references? Don't ever waste your time on writing references. Use Mendeley. A free tool is there. Mendeley, Mendeley desktop. Okay. Whatever the references you have, add those references in Mendeley desktop. It will write for you in all the entire international and national level files you have. Okay. Never ever waste your time in writing references. Okay. Don't carry out with the citations. It will acquire the citations from the net. Okay. No need to waste your time on writing references. Okay. Let us say if I am writing a review paper. Review paper contains 100 research papers. I need to consider 100 review articles. So if I am writing 100 review articles, citations, it will take nearly 1 week time. So rather than using 7 days time, it is only 10 minutes time. Less than 10 minutes. If you have a good internet connection, it will take only less than 1 minute. That's all. It will acquire all the citations from the net. Use Mendeley desktop. Paraphrasing tool. Yes, another tool is there. Upon turning, there is a yellow colored mark that is called as paraphrasing tool. So now the question comes into picture, how I am going to rewrite the sentences. There are different types of paraphrasing tools that are existing on the net. Best type of paraphrasing tool is Quillbot. Quillbot. Okay, using Quillbot, you can rewrite the entire things using machine learning and artificial intelligence that is embedded in that tool. It is a paid tool. All the tools that are listed here are paid tools except Mendeley. Mendeley desktop. Mendeley desktop is only used for writing references. Remember, all these tools are used to speed up your research, but not inventing a new thing. This is only for writing the paper. We cannot invent anything. Remember that. We need to devise our own proposed framework. It will not decide the framework. Remember that. These are the tools that are used for speed up the writing process only. Remember that. Right? Next one. Next one is, what are the publication ethics? What are the publication ethics? First one is plagiarism. Literally copying others' work and telling that it's my own work. It comes under plagiarism. Next one is substantial copying. Substantial copying means some part of the work I will be copying from some paper and I will be writing some other thing and telling that it's my own work. It should not be done. Next one is paraphrasing. Rama killed Ravana, Ravana was killed by Rama. The same thing. Okay? Don't change the paraphrases and tell that it's my own work. It also comes under plagiarism. Next one, text recycling. Recycle the text such that change the phrases and a new sentence is formed. Now tell that it's my own work. No, this also comes under plagiarism. Next one, simultaneous submission. You cannot submit a paper to 4 to 5 journals at a time. This tells that you have plagiarized. So that is not a good ethical thing. Next one, research fraud. Research fraud is publishing data or conclusions that were not generated by experiments. They will not do an experiments. They will tell that this proposed framework will give that result. Okay? ఏదో ఊహించేసి ఇది రావచ్చు అని చెప్పేస్తాం. ఇది వచ్చిందని కూడా చెప్పేస్తాం. So that comes under research fraud. Next one, salami slicing. Breaking up of or segmenting the data from different manuscripts. 4 manuscripts తీసుకుని 4 ఉన్న డేటా తీసుకుని ఆ 4 కంబైన్ చేసి వీడు 5వ manuscript తయారు చేస్తాడు. So that is called as salami slicing. This also comes under fraud. So what are the pre-publication review process? As the reviewer, what we will be following? So the first one is single blind review. Single blinded review means reviewer unknown to author. Author will be submitting to the journal and reviewer will be assigned by the editor and reviewer will not be knowing who is the author. Next one, author known to reviewer. Author will be knowing who is the reviewer. Next one is most common form of review. Double-blinded peer review. Now, another question is double-blinded peer review. Majority of ACM journals, Association of Computing Machinery or Computer Machinery, is a standard journal where they will be following double-blinded review. Means, in your paper, while submitting for the journal, you will not be adding other details. You will not be adding other details. So, reviewers will not be knowing who you are. So, there will be no bias while reviewing the paper. If I know you, I will tell that, okay, I know her, so good marks. No, that is not there in the case of double-blinded review. Next one. Next one is open review. In open review, normally names are reviewed, but majority of the standard journals will be following double-blinded review or single-blinded review. Remember. Next, sir. How you are going to evaluate the title of the paper?
Where someone they can leave faculty.
How you are going to evaluate the title? So here, we will be seeing one particular thing that whether the title that have been written in the paper will be conveying the main idea or not. If it is not conveying the main idea, in the initial phase itself, the journal will be rejected. Whatever the paper you have written will be rejected. Remember that. Next one is, does it contain the key features? Okay. Does it sound interesting? And is the methodology outlined is clear in the evaluation of the abstract, and does the results conclude and align with the aim? All these will be considered while reviewing. So, in this particular in this particular session, we have seen how to write a research paper. So, in that, we have seen how to decide the title, how to write the abstract, how keywords are selected, what are the topics you need to write in the introduction, how to write a literature survey, and how results need to be presented, what are the points that are to be covered in the discussions and conclusions, and next one is how to write a new approach from the existing approaches. Next, what are the publication ethics and the tools that are used for writing a research paper. That will be speeding up the writing process, right? So, if any doubts are there, you can ask me. Thank you. You can solve it. Existing approaches cannot be claimed as a new approach. Existing approaches cannot be claimed. Existing approaches cannot be claimed. Majority of the standard journals will not answer. You can create. A problem solution. combining 2 or 3 metrics, redesign that again. Redesign the metric so that it will be limited. Yes. Okay. Right. Any other thoughts?
I will be available after that.
Any other? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, I'm Benjamin, working as a professor in CSE department in the Engineering College. Please, if your attention, I can explain in depth. If you are concentrated, I will explain more. I will give you more information about the research concepts. Okay. That's right. That's right.
Back.
Yeah, already Sir explained about how to write a research paper. In that research paper, how to prepare a title, how we are going to be using a title of the paper, and how to write an abstract, and what type of keywords we have to include in the paper. And already explained about that existing traditional approaches is there. By using those traditional approaches and existing methodologies, we have to show some improvement. Then only it is going to be called as a research. Whereas before going to this, my topic is totally concentrating on this, right? My topic is totally concentrating on how to write a video. Basically, if you are writing a research paper, you have to know about the domain knowledge. Without the domain knowledge, if you are writing a paper, it is totally zero knowledge. You have a zero knowledge character. Compulsorily, we have to do some survey on the particular domain. Suppose, for example, I think people are related to MBA, some people are related to engineering, faculty there. You have to choose the domain first of all. Whether I think people are totally related to HR and management, finance, all the people are combinations is there. If you are thinking about finance, compulsory some approaches will be there. For example, HR, if you are taking HR, some methodology will be there. How we have some questionnaires, we have to collect some surveys by giving some questionnaires, by collecting the information, then only you can write a paper. It is that type of thing you people are going to be doing in MBA, right? Based upon the surveys only you can. And few approaches will be there. Based upon the approaches, we have to tell that this is the methodology we are going to be using to write the paper. By applying so process like that, we have to. Before going to that, we have to know that where it is started and when it is going to be started. What is the research we have to do? If you know those things, then we can easily apply the process. Otherwise, it is not at all. Suppose take an example, if you are related to engineering, compulsorily we have to know the basics in the domain. If you don't know the basic things, it is not possible to write a research paper. Okay, that's why compulsorily in my topic in the content, first one is writing a review paper. How to write a review paper. There is a different type of process there. Based upon that, we can easily write the review papers. Here there is no implementation, no need of doing any implementation, any cost in methodologies is not there in review paper. Just we have to study the existing papers. What are the existing papers who are experienced in the particular domain, or particular finance or HR or something like that. How to got those information. Already existing questionnaires will be there. What type of questions you have to prepare, likewise you have to prepare first of all. If your questionnaire is good means then you can get the better results. If the questionnaire is totally it is the existing one means what is the same thing is going to be appearing same. No need to do no need to write a research this one review tab. Compulsorily you have to do already existing questions will be there. You have to collect some existing question, new question is which is going to be giving some inputs to your process. Likewise, you have to prepare those things and then you have to collect the information. Here also same. You have to collect some input data from the different people and recently few weeks of getting regarding some questions from MBA department, Vigan University also recently we have to at least please play for 5 minutes to answer those questions. They are collecting some information. What are the experience we faced in that? Okay. By collecting those information, they are going to be preparing. That is the thing we people are doing in MBA research project. Mostly, recently one of my colleagues also asked me to write some. I think he given some tools also they given. By using those tools, we have to write a thesis on. By using those tools. I don't know the tools actually. I said that I don't know about the tools. By using those tools only, the MBA thesis are going to be writing. By using those tools they mentioned. Some tools is. By using those tools, they are going to be deriving those things. Okay. And the second one, selection of appropriate journals. Actually, after writing a paper, previous section, the sir explained about research paper, how the implementation paper, how we are going to implement the paper. Which journal is going to be published, that one also you have to know. You have to select the appropriate journal to publish. Actually, in right now, present in publication sector, almost we have fake journals that is going to be called as closed journals, and some journals is indexing. You have to know the indexing journals also. See, if people Narayana Engineering College got an how we got a based upon this publication indexing. That is the one criteria, that is the main factor, impact factor. By selecting the journals is a very major role in the NRF ranking also. And the citations, and you have to include the citations of your paper. Whatever the paper you written, it is going to be reference to some other papers. Who are writing a new paper, it is going to be useful for them and they are going to be indexing. By studying your paper, they are going to be preparing a new papers. Okay, likewise. And indexing a publication. Scopus is there, that is the first, that is the thing. Nowadays, all engineering colleges are asked to publish in Scopus indexing. Another one is a Web of Science indexing, another one is a Science Directed indexing. Totally 3 types of indexing is there. If your publishing paper is in indexing Web of Science or Scopus or SCA, then it is going to be recognized. Otherwise, it is a waste of unnecessary your research is going to be waste. If you are publishing paper in unknown journal, argument that is paper is going to get waste. Compulsorily, you have to publish those papers in Scopus, Web of Science and SCA, Science Second Index. Okay, and like some tools. Some tools is there. Maximum I authenticate and authenticate tools there. Maximum in this publication sectors they are going to use in this. Maximum if you are going for MS some foreign universities, compulsorily if they are giving any assignment also they are going to be using these tools. I authenticate and another one is connecting tools. Why? Because we have to monitor. If you copy it from other sources, automatically the tools is going to be identifying the sources. First of all, you have to know that what is the mechanism. If you copy it and paste it simply means that is going to be wrong. Compulsorily, you have to study and make it as an own paper. One of the things you understand by studying those papers, by using those knowledge, you have to write in your own notes. Then only it is going to be true. If it is copy paste, automatically it is going to be copy cut. The compulsory maximum in publication side, like the tools they are going to be using. Already saw explained about ethics, publication ethics so far. If you want this one, each and every journal they are going to be giving us publication ethics. Okay. There are some criteria review paper. Already I said this is not an implementation paper. How to go through the existing thing. Suppose if in engineering side, compulsorily we have to study at least 10 years. 10 years. Suppose if you are writing any research paper, any review paper, compulsorily you have to collect 10 years of papers. From suppose you now 2022, you have to collect up to 2021. from 2012 to 2022, if you collected the same domain, whatever, suppose if you are finance-wise, if finance-wise you are going to be taking the topics, now collect the finance side. There also there is a drawback will be there. If you collected some unwanted sources, all documents will be available related to the particular topic. Some they are not going to follow any ethics also. Compulsorily you have to follow standard journals, like you people have some standard journals. IEEE office is there. IEEE, ACM, some standard journals will be there. You have to follow those journals and collect the information. Papers. If you got at least 3 to 4 papers related to the topic in a year, that is enough. Collect at least 20 papers from the 10 years. By collecting those information, you check out all those things and make it table faster. And you will get a plan where there is what type of question is they prepared. Based upon that, what type of remarks they identified. By gathering those information, automatically we will get a plan where they have a problem in the particular questionnaires. What type of problem they face while collecting the information. Where is the main drawback is there. You have to overcome by studying all the 10 years of the research papers. Automatically you can get the clarity about the particular concept. What we have to do exactly we will get. That's the main thing. Suppose before implementation paper, we have to do the survey and particular. If you have a basic knowledge, then only it is going to be helpful for implementing the implementation research. Okay, whatever the sir explained previously, that is going to be helpful. First of all, you have to collect the 10 years of paper, and you have to study and you have to make it as a table format, and what type of techniques they use, what type of questions they use, and mention all those things in a table format. What type of existing problems they make, what type of proposal they mention, what type of result they got. If it is in a table format, automatically we will get a gap. Recently, one of my PhD students also, she is doing on skin cancer. She collected almost 10 years of papers and she made it as a table format and explained each and every concept. Suppose what type of algorithm they taken, what type of parameters they taken, and what type of output they got it. Finally, what is the drawback in the particular paper? She written everything in the table format. Finally, she is going to she identified attributes of the particular problem statement. If you identify the problem statement, automatically we can write a research for those topics. That is the main intention of doing this research. If you are doing PhD, compulsorily, almost for doing this review survey, it will take around 1 year. Compulsory. After getting the problem statement, it is very easy to implement by applying some methodology, some things we are applying, and we are getting some results. That implementation part is very easy. Identifying the problem statement is very important. That's why review paper is going to take more time to identify the problem. By doing the preview, then only we can get the open problems, and then we what are the limitations, what is the problem statement, everything we can get it. And recently, ACM also I found that the journal recently, ACM, that is the standard journal, the impact factor is there. How we are going to be identifying what is the impact factor is within a particular year. How many members they use the particular journal? Citations. Citations means nothing but whatever the paper I written, the paper is studied by some other people, they are taking as a reference. That is nothing but citations. Suppose for example, this year I got only 105 citations for my publications. Means that this year alone, by taking those citations, they are going to identify the H index, and for other also there is a H index is there. Each and every journal have indexing is there, Scopus index, and it is having a H index, and based upon that, they are going to be identifying that which is a good journal or weak journal. Likewise, you can easily identify the process. Okay, this is the indexing factor. That is the survey alone they are going to be publishing. That is the topmost journal, ACM, in engineering concept. Not only engineering, you can do any type of surveys in ACM or by ACM journal. Almost the impact factor is 10 point. If it is 10.2 means high impact. It is a highly standard journal which we will take almost 1 year to 1.5 years. It is going to publish the paper. It is exclusively for survey. We have to write a survey almost 20 to 30 pages of survey paper is also available. See, close is the PDF open. PPT close. See, this is a certain paper in published in standard journal like elsewhere. Elsewhere is there, Spinner is there, right? Transaction is there, ACM is there. We have to collect those information. This paper is exclusively related to the survey. In software engineering, one model is there, the agile model. By using those models, they written the survey. They did a survey on the agile model in software engineering concept, engineering. See here, they taken a decade of agile method. For this decade, they collected the information related to the agile model and they made it a survey. Almost it is having, I think, 15 to 17 papers, 17 pages they written. This followed. See, in abstract itself, I said no. How the research and agile is progressed is 10 years past. They collected the 10 years of information related to the particular domain, particular problem. That is the one of the topic which is there in the agile concept. Actually, I think people got in Instagram, Facebook also. Agile model. The expectations is like horse likewise. The expectations of particular diagram. But finally, after implementation, we are going to be getting a donkey type of image. That is the type of lens we got it in Instagram and Facebook. There, the concept is related to the agile model. The concept is agile model. The expectations is high. But finally, what we are going to be, whenever we implement the process, we are going to be getting like a donkey like this. We expected horse, but finally we got it a donkey. Means that whenever implementation, there is a problem. Whatever the expectations we mentioned, we image that one is not going to be implemented properly. That is the thing. While projecting the concepts, they understand that in that particular direction. That's why we got the finally some donkey type of image. That type of lens we got it in agile model. They collected 10 years. How, what way they are going to be collected means almost, see, this is the one of the approach. Applications, they collected exclusively topic related publications on agile software development from 2001 to 2010. They collected 10 years of agile coding. The keyword is nothing but agile. By taking the keyword, they taken almost 10 years of papers which is published in the standard journals. Almost year-wise they collected. In 2001 some set of papers. And again in 2002 they collected set of papers. 2003, 2004, 2005. And up to 10 years of data they collected related to the keyword agile. They collected all the information. What are the concepts they taken means exactly. Some people are expertise in agile model. Area wise also they collected. One is this method, collecting the information year wise. That is the first method. And second method, those who are expertise in region wise, they collected from the worldwide who are expertise in the agile model. Area wise they identify. They identify that who are the authors, who are expertise authors in the particular agile model identify. And second method, third method, they collected journals. I said no, if you are doing any research, compulsory you have to collect the standard journals. Likewise, they collected IPP software, that is the standard journal, and again journal of system and the software. Likewise, year-wise, they collected the papers in those journals, standard journals. If you are collecting the information from unknown journals, means automatically there is going to be a problem. They are not going to be following the ethics, professional this one, publication ethics, they won't follow. Simply copy, paste, and they will publish the paper. This is going to be a problem. Once you publish the paper from copy from other sources, they can claim a case on it. It is a totally claim. This is a crime. It is like a crime. you have to withdraw the particular paper, otherwise you cannot claim the other works in your name. That is going to be a problem in online publications. Compulsorily, you have to study, you have to understand, and you have to gather the information, and you have to write it up. That is the thing you have to do. Here, they collected almost one is that 2001 to 2010. That agile model alone they collected. Second method is region wise they collected the information, area wise, and it means that in world they collected in India and America who are expertise in the particular domain. Expertise people only they can write the tags. If you are not the profile is not able to access expertise, that's why if you are talking about any professor in any college, they will ask you that what is the research area of the particular professor, assistant professor, associate professor. The expertise in the particular machine learning, the artificial intelligence, otherwise something from domain they will tell you, data science, something like this. They will publish the papers, their expertise, they can teach the things in the artificial intelligence. Area wise we can collect. Another one is the journal. After collecting this information, this is the third step. And the fourth one, see, this is the chart they identify. Actually, these whatever things they explain there, it is all related to the software engineering concepts. Actually, they have to work on agile model around. Agile method. But whenever we are doing the agile model, it is interlinked with other concepts also. Which concept is interlinked? In agile model, which concepts they use? Likewise, see here, step by step, some basics to anything. Before agile model, some methodology will be there. Likewise, they are going to be made as a graph things. Agile model finally, it is that this one is going to be communicated with these concepts, all these concepts, interlinked. And they collected information along with this agile model. But in depth, if you are doing the research, compulsorily it will be interlinked to the other concepts also. You can apply this agile model to other concepts also. By applying this concept, they are going to identify here. Another one, if you see this one, see this is the authors who are expertise collecting the 2001 to 2010. They mentioned clearly. The expertise in the knowledge management, personality, likewise, they are going to be writing all those things. By author also, we can get the information. If you, one of the journal is there, that is the Methodology.org, that is the journal is the standard Scopus journal, which is indexed from 2006 to till now it is there. Exclusively for computer science, engineering and management. The papers which they accepted in publishing is aim of the particular journal is nothing but computer science, engineering and management. I referred him regarding this particular management paper. He submitted and the paper is also got accepted in the authority and the general issue is going to be here. Means that the paper aim and scope you have to check. Whether it is matching to the particular aim and scope, we can publish the papers in the particular journals. Suppose the international journal of computer science and engineering, computer science international journal of neural networks. Likewise, it is there means it is not going to be accepted here. It will accept only related to the fuzzy logic and the network, neural networks and machine learning, artificial intelligence. You have to check the scope, what type of papers they are going to publish, and identify your scope. What are the papers you written, you have to check those scope, and finding the source of evaluation, and writing your title, what are the source said about this title and object keywords. Introduction, introduce the topic, include the critical discussion, sum it up and use a critical means nothing but give it to whatever paper you written, you hand over to your friend and ask them to check out the content, whether it is correct or not. By studying other people, they can identify the problem. If you are studying, they cannot identify the problems in the particular paper. Mistakes is not going to be identified. Why? Because you people written no. That's why you people have confidence that it is correct. But if your friend is reading the paper, it's automatic. Why you people are looking at others? They can identify the problem. They can now they are reading the content. They can easily identify what are the mistakes is there in the particular concept. We can easily identify. These are 8 key factors which we are going to be using in reviewing the from our side before submitting the article into the journal. Compulsory you have to follow these 8. The thing I explained, define your scope, identifying sources to evaluate, and writing your title abstract keywords, introduce the topic, include the critical discussion, submit. You have to check with your friends. Okay. Next one, selection of appropriate journals. See, four types of journals is there. This one, four types of journals is there. Bibliometric indicators. One is a peer review. I think Sir will explain about peer review journal. Peer review. And another one is an essay index. I said no, essay index and the impact factor and H index. See, H index for both author as well as journal will be there. If you check journal H index, it is going to be some 45, 65. A good journal having H index is more high. If it is having H index above 40, 50, 100 also there. Why they given H index means citations. How many members are using the journal papers? Already I shown the review paper 1, IEEE transaction and software engineering. Almost what are the people who are working on research and software engineering? They are going to be studying only IEEE software transactions and software engineering. That is the standard journal they are going to be following. By studying those papers, they are going to be citing those papers for the research, further research. They are, by collecting those citations, they are going to be giving the H index, number of citations in a year. They will take a year-wise citation citation index, and based upon that, they will assign the impact factor. Impact factor also they are asked. See, if you are going for any, suppose research point of view, how many peer review journals we have? What is the H index of you? What is the one of the journals of publication? What is the impact factor of your journal? Likewise, they will ask the first question. If you are doing any PhD in the MBA or some other areas, engineering or science, whatever it may be, if you will have to publish a paper in H index journal, impact factor journal, essay, likewise in indexed journals you have to publish. Obviously, you have to publish. Peer review is nothing but those who are expertise in the particular domain. Suppose, for example, in India, some people are expertise in MBA finance. They are expertise in the finance. The part of the paper you written, they are going to be submitting those papers to the particular expert people. They will review your paper, whether it is met to the quality or what are the content you written that is a good quality or. By studying those things, they are going to be reviewing that. It is a suitable for publication. That is nothing but peer review. The expertise people will review a paper and they will accept. Suppose if it is not met to the quality, automatically it is going to be rejected. But if any minor modifications is there, they will give you that minor revision. If it is having a major revision, some modification, huge modification has to do, then only it is a good content, but it is not represented properly. They will give you that major revision. You have to modify those things and you have to submit again. They will accept. That is the peer review. Another one is that likewise we are going to be getting major revision, minor revision, accept, and reject. Reject is something but good quality paper is not going to be rejected. Like what are the copy content you take it automatically is going to be rejected. That is the thing. Okay. These are the four types there. Impact factor, they will check what type of indexing it is. It is a peer review journal or not. Another one is that what is the H index of the particular journal we have to check. Okay, these are things they are going to be asking while publishing the journal. You have to check all this. How to select a journal means, see, application is important and all the matter is content. The journal have important role in selecting the most relevant. Suppose, see, you people, some journals also having management publications, but exclusively they will mention the keywords like finance, HR. Some keywords is there, emerging keywords is there in MBA. There you have to select those journals and you have to publish that type of stuff. Suppose if you written a paper and HR things you have to submit those. What are the content you have to check all those in the journal point. Okay. Research quality, they are expertise in the particular domain. And peer review already is not explained. In that peer review, blind review is there, double blind and triple blind is there. Means that they are going to be applying these concepts. Review process taking a few months. Compulsory it will take a few months. Yesterday also I submitted one review paper. One research paper submitted by some other author. They kept as me as a reviewer of particular paper. Compulsory we have to review those things and we have to make comments. Whether the given paper is in quality or not. They will ask whether what are the paper they written that is reaching to the reality or not. Originality is there or not. Partiality means already sorted. already existing method, the same thing if you are using it, that is not going to be real. Novel is not there. You have by getting the existing method, you have to do some modification to the particular algorithm or whatever it may be. That is going to be novel. You have to introduce a new algorithm or some modification in the existing algorithm. Then you will get some 0.5 something, some changes, accuracy is going to be improved. Then only it is going to be real. Okay, we have to do all those things and we have to publish it. Whether it is reaching to the particular virtuality or not, likewise we have to check and we have to give a feedback. If it is not meant to the reality, we have to tell that there is some drawbacks in the particular concept. If we is explained with some model, mathematical model or some block diagram by showing those things in a step-by-step process, then we will get a clarity. That's the thing we are going to be expecting in the research plan. You have to write all those things and then in line review and double review, triple review, they are going to be doing all this. And the review process will take more time and cost is going to be free. Some standard journals will follow this one. Cost is going to be free, journals will be there. And suppose if you want to publish that in the open access journal, another one is an open access journal. If it is an open access means everyone can read the paper and they can cite. If it is an open, they can download the paper and they can study. Suppose IEEE Transact, IEEE Explorer, people know about this one. IEEE Explorer, how many members know this? IEEE Explorer? IEEE Explorer website. It is a IEEE Explorer is a transaction. They are maintaining standards like ISO or like standards to be there for products. Likewise, IEEE Explorer is the getting a magazines, journals, books, publications, like conference proceedings. Everything is there. They are following some standards. If you download those papers from the IEEE Explorer, that is going to be helpful for your research. Why they characterize the standard means they are following some quality research papers alone they are going to publish. Otherwise they won't publish the papers. That is the problem. That is the thing they are doing. They are following some standards. Okay, if you follow that IEEE transactions, some IEEE magazines, IEEE books, magazines, likewise, you will get a new ideas by reading all those documents. It is not open access. You have to subscribe. You have to pay some amount to download the paper. If it is an open access journal, we can download paper and we can read it. If it is not open access, that is the difference between open access and subscription. You have to pay for each and every paper. $7, $8. I think if people download any research paper from ACM, some IEEE, automatically they will ask you to pay. If I download this paper compulsory, you have to pay $7, $8. Likewise, they will charge for downloading the particular paper, one paper. Means that they will charge the subscription, open access. Two things. Open access journal also is there. Standard journals is open access. If it is open access, everybody will read out and they can use those papers for further research for their particular topic. Okay. Review process is going to be rigorous here. Compulsory they will follow some standards and they will follow rigorously. They will do the process. One of the things standards they are having, they are going to follow. And grade for publication, citations. For your paper, if you got a citation, that is a grade. If you didn't get the grade citations, future people are not utilizing your paper means that is not at all useful for research. If they are using your paper for further citation, the citation means that is going to be further. Okay, it is going to be useful. And we have these things: limited access journals, open access journals. This is nothing but clones. Already I think Sal explained about the clone journals. Don't select the third one and better go with the limited access journals. They have some standard per year, 20 papers they are going to publish. 20 papers means they follow the standards. If they are not following the standards, so they are not going to be accepted. If 15 papers, 10 papers, based on the quality of the paper only they will publish. Otherwise they won't publish the paper. That is the thing. Compulsory there is a subscription fee is there for that particular limited access journal. And open access, we can download the paper, we can read what are the publications they did it. You can check out what are the open access journals on MBA management. Automatically we will get the open access journal. Means that we can download the paper, full length paper. It is going to be using for further future research purpose. We can use those things and we can cite it. What are the content you taken? Or for example, if you taken any diagram from the particular paper, you can cite that particular paper with author name, and you have to represent that in a reference. It's compulsory. Okay, open access we can do. And don't take the third one. It is the Crown journals. If you publish a paper by doing all the research, if you publish the paper in that type of journals, automatically what will happen is one of the research you did it, that is going to be waste of time. Waste of time, waste of your research. What are the content you written? It is totally waste. Nobody are not going to be using those type of things. Now we do look at the two types. Another one is the indexing. How we are going to be identifying the Scopus journals means Cimago.org. That is the website is available. Another one is the Scopus.com is there. By using those two websites, you can search that it is an can identify that H-index as well as Q1 journal, Q2 journal, Q3 journal, Q4. Four levels is there. Q1 is the topmost, Q2 is the second level, third level Q3, Q4. Based upon the indexing and citations, they are going to be allocating this Q1, Q2, Q3 likewise. Ranking likewise, they are going to be giving for each and every journal. Q1 is the standard journal, SCA journals, like Scopus journals also is there. They are strictly following the standards. If you follow those standards, what are the standards they mentioned, if you follow this, they are going to be accepting your paper, otherwise they won't accept. By using this Cimago, it is going to be giving the general ranking as well as world ranking also. They will give the information about the particular journal. It is going to be giving the information about the general ranking, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and H-index also they will show. And suppose if you want to know about the source of the particular web page, you can they will provide the source link also. You can check that whether it is a genuine journal by clicking that particular source home page. You can go to the particular home page and you can check out. That is a virtual journal. Nowadays, what will happen is there will be a Chrome journal also. Same journal with ISSN number, everything is same. Same will be there. If you publish in Chrome journal instead of this virtual journal, automatically it is going to be waste. Compulsorily, you have to check whether the given journal is Chrome or not. You have to check out. By using this Scopus is Cimago.org, you can get the virtual home page. Or otherwise, go for home this one, Scopus.com. There we can give a ISSN number. For each journal have some ISSN number. Okay, journal is having ISSN number means it is a journal. Okay, ISBN is nothing but it is a chapter or otherwise it is a book. You have to remember this one. Conference proceedings. If you are presenting a paper in a conference, it is going to be indexed with the this one book. Conference proceedings is getting the ISBN. And the ISSN is nothing but this one. Journal alone we are going to be getting the ISSN. You have to give the ISSN number in the two pages. Scopus.com or otherwise Cimago.org. You will get the clarity about the particular journal, whether it is a Chrome journal or not. You will get the clarity. And already I said, one is a peer review, another one is an essay index, another one is an H-index. You have to know about the H-index of the particular journal. You can check by using this Cimago.org. Automatically it shows that what is the H-index of the particular journal. Nowadays the universities are asking what is the H-index of the journal, what is the impact of the journal, and what is the indexing of the particular journal, like Scopus, SCA. Likewise, you have to know, if you know those things, then only they are going to be considering that there is a publication. If you are not having any indexing, means if you are publishing a paper, it's waste of time. Your money is going to be waste, and your research is time is going to be waste, and what are the content you written, automatically everything is going to be waste. Check out properly and select the journal properly. Then only it is going to be helpful for your further. Okay, writing a paper is okay. Second level, while publishing the paper, you have to take some measurements. If you don't know about the journal, simply if you are seeing the journal management, the international journal in management, if you are submitting the paper, it is published, no value of the particular paper. Selecting the appropriate journal is good. If you are not at all selecting the paper, the journals, that is going to be a problem. You have to check these things. It is a peer-reviewed journal, it is a H-index, otherwise it is an indexed journal. Then you have to check that it is what is the impact factor of the journal. If you see some journals, Indian journals, then a journal of something will be there. The impact factor is they will tell that 8.9 something like this. It is a totally bogus. Global impact factor they will tell. It is totally wrong. Global impact factor is not there. Only impact factor only is there. by seeing the global impact factor, if we are choosing the journal, that is the wrong. Okay, compulsory check out that impact factor. Compulsory IEEE transactions have only 10 impact factor. Suppose IEEE 950 also, ACM also, some journals have 0.123 likewise, 0. Not 1 also. Some local journals they are telling that the impact factor is 8. Not only they are going to be making you misguiding, and they are going to be publishing in unknown journals. After a certain time, they will remove the journal web page also. Your page is also not going to be usable further in the future also. Likewise, we published some papers in earlier. We don't have a knowledge at the time of 2003, 2004, 2005 at the time. Simply, if it is an international, we simply submit a paper and we publish it. But after a certain period of time, we know that what is an index, what is an impact factor, what is an essay index, what is a Scopus index. With some standards they are following for publication. If you know those things, you can easily cite in the journals. If you are not citing the proper journals, after writing a good paper also, is a waste of time. Okay. See, this is the synagogue powered by Scopus. The standard elsewhere is maintaining this web page. Ranking of journals country-wise. Country level, they are going to be maintaining all this. Already in first review paper I showed which an agile model, which country is having more number of publications. You can get those information by using this simago.org and freely available simago.org.com and Scopus 100 years of information they are providing, and measure the contextual citations impact alone they are going to be showing what is an index on the particular journal, what is the self citation of the particular journal, weightage, what is the weightage of the particular essay journals they are going to be giving in the Simago. Another one is an cited science citation index (SCA). This is a standard Q1 journals. If you want to publish in this essay, it will take around 1.5 year, 1 year time period for review process. It will take 1 year. After completion of certain period only, they will allow you to. They will give you comments if it is matching to the journal or not. Based upon that, they will take the decision whether it is rejected or accepted. It will take around 1.5 years. Why? Because they are following some standards. I said impact factor. This one is one of the number performance indicator of the journal. These are the two methods they are going to be following. Calculation of journal impact factor. One is an year-wise, another one is an 5 years impact factor. Also they will show you. If they take the year-wise, A is nothing but 1992. One of the total number of papers citations in 1992. B is nothing but 92 citation article published in 1990 to 1991. 90 to 1991 they take citation papers, the particular journal. They are going to be applying the methodology D equal to C by B by C. They are getting the impact factor of 1992. Likewise, they will calculate the impact factor. One of the publication papers, whichever we publish in the particular period of time, they will take those journals and how many papers they cited by other people in other journals. They will calculate those things year-wise. They will finally apply those formula. They are going to identify the 1992 impact factor. Example they take it. Same for 5 years also they will take the impact factor. 1 year and 5 years. By using this impact factor also we can identify whether it is a good journal or not. Impact factor based. 5 years impact factor, 1 year impact factor. Next one is an index. One of the physics lecturer is identified this one H index. For author wise as well as journal wise, he prepared this one in 2005. His name is Harish. He is introduced this tool. By using this tool only, they named it as an H index. If you want to go and search this H index for the author wise, Google Scholar. Log into the Gmail account and then Google Scholar. You type it in Google Scholar. There you will get the H index, item index. What are the papers you publish? You will get the H index as well as item index information. Otherwise, for author also there is an H index as well as item index. Both is there. Okay, not only for journal, for author also there is. This one, create a checklist, find the journals with impact factor, journal scope matches we have to do, and finally create a checklist. Does the topic match? Then what are the topics you did? You have to check within journal whether the topic. Suppose if I written a software engineering for neural networks without adding a neural network concept, it is not going to be answered. It is not going to be answered. Fuzzy logic is there means actually morning also we discussed about this thing. While traveling from Tirupati to Nellore, one of the paper compulsorily they have to use the fuzzy logic concept. If we didn't added this name, automatically they won't accept. For if the keyword is there, then only it is going to be accepted for publication. That is the thing. The scope, whenever the scope is matching to the particular journal, then only they are going to be accepted. Otherwise, it is not. Okay. It is read with and communities. I want to teach indexed or not likewise, and have to publish a good journal. Some journal finders also use the guidelines. See this website www.journalguide.com. You can get it is going to be giving the guidance to the selecting the good journals by the website. And another one is a directory of open access journals is there. You can get the information about the journals related to the particular topic. And likewise, we have some tools also is there for paper wise, title wise, abstract wise. If you write a title. By giving the title also we can identify the journal by using these tools. These are the three types of tools is there. By using those tools we can easily identify the journals. That is the methodology is the tools is available to identify the good journal. And impact factor we have to check, and the journal scope match and recommendations. One of the make sure you have to check all these things. One is then clone journals we have to avoid. That is the first one. And make sure that indexing is there or not, and prefer that peer review journal, and then impact factor is there or not, you have to check out. If the impact factor is not there, there is no that much of value about the particular journal. If impact factor is there, we can choose the particular type of journal. If it is a global impact factor, don't go the particular journal. Why? Because it is a local medium. The impact factor is given by some standard organizations is there. They will calculate and they will give that impact factor. Nobody are not going to be given the global impact factor. The type of words is not at all allowed. Okay, only impact factor will be there. You check out while publishing the paper. Make sure that mapping the paper is going to be matching to the particular journal. If you are submitting the paper without matching the particular score, they will reject easily. Why? Because what are the content you written, it is not matching to our journal. So we are going to be regretting that it is going to be rejected. Like that, they will give you answer, simple answer. If you are submitting also, it is a waste of time. Choose the journal with the proper match. What are the content you written that is going to be matching to the journal, we have to check. And create your own journal list in your research term. While writing the paper itself, you make a list of journals which is going to be accepted by particular domain. Some journals will be there. You list out and made it as a year-wise. Year-wise, you made it a tabular format. You apply to the those journals by after writing the paper. If you are sending the paper to unknown journals, they won't accept. Compulsorily while submitting, you have to go for scope. Compulsorily, if the web page itself, they will clearly mentioning the scope of the journal and the aim of the journal. And topics which is going to be accepted by the journal also, they will give you the clear. By selecting those things, you can apply the journal. Otherwise, if you are selecting blindly all the journals, they won't accept. That is the steps you have to follow. These are tools targeting the identification. I said no. Two things compulsorily. If you are going for already some tools is available in online, some plagiarism tools. It is not going to be appropriate. If you are checking that 0% also in these tools, they are going to be showing that 40% of plagiarism. It will check all the sources. If you want any related to the publication information, please contact me. This is my mail ID and my phone number. If you want, you can relate to the publication tasks. Okay, so thank you.
Basically, it's a very nice lectures by two of the eminent professors. ఈ రీసెర్చ్ అనేది దీనివల్ల మనం హ్యూమన్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ అనేది మనం ఎద్దుల బండ్ల నుంచి ఎలక్ట్రిక్ వెహికల్స్ దాకా ఎట్లా వచ్చాం రీసెర్చ్ వల్లే కంటిన్యూస్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ కదా, అందుకే మన వీళ్ళు పెద్ద పెద్దలు చెప్తుంటారు మనం వీఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ సో మచ్ డిస్టెన్స్ బికాస్ వీఆర్ స్టాండింగ్ ఆన్ ద షోల్డర్స్ ఆఫ్ డేట్స్. అంటే పెద్ద పెద్దలు ఎంత రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తే మనం దాని మీద అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. If you can note down these things and ask any questions or any clarification. Thank you.